When you see that flame wreath cast, what is it you think to yourself? This is the end of days. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the Dandy Preacher. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas and a Happy New Year. And as promised, giveaway time. Ayo! So I did promise we were doing these on the TDP, and now we're going to do it. HyperX sent us this. So the only deal is we're going to do this. At some point in this dungeon, something crazy is probably going to happen, or something silly, and that will be the determining factor in the tweet in order to win this headset. But I've got to do an unboxing thing, so they've actually done a proper job, because this is actually the upgraded version of what Emma uses. It's what she chose out of a whole host of headsets, so it's pretty goddamn good, because she went to a store and tried on like 20 of them, and she decided on this model, but she's got the one that's a bit cheaper. Well, I think her boss paid for it. She got a cheap one. So, got to do the old unboxing thing so you see what you get. You got all the cool stuff. Everybody's so good about their boxing now. Look at this. They're all proper about it. So it's all there, so I'm going to play it out. The microphone's detachable. It's a proper mic. It's pretty stylish, actually. Look at this thing. There's a wide one, but that's solid. It's very cool. It's super comfortable as well. Like, Emma has piercings, and she wears hers for hours without any issues. So thank you to HyperX. And check out in the link, but the description. I'll put it in the description at the end of the video. What we're going to do to give that away. But it's very awesome. Oh God, we're starting. So what have we got in store today? Well, not to be that guy who's saying, this is what you could have won. We actually did a run. I actually filmed a run on the Hunter in an upper 16. And as fun as it was, we had a demon hunter who quit the group halfway through because he felt he was carrying despite he's actually Pyro was in that group, actually, my raid leader, and he pointed out that this guy had like the worst. I was on my very low gate hunter, like 930, still keeping up, like, but this guy was just the pad monster in here, which isn't easy. Oh no. Ah, let's melt this down. I actually thought my combustion would use that trinket. But apparently not. Let me check this before we go much further. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. I know what it is. I have an Arcano Crystal. This is the first Arcano Crystal I've seen on my mage in the entirety of Legion. Want to know something hilarious? If you saw the stream that we did today, this thing actually sims better than my 940 stuff and my 965 stuff. Yes. Yes, that's true. That is utterly true. Like, the game in that respect, the Titan forging system and the sheer ludicrousness of this this item in particular is beyond stupidity. So you can see we are in we're going to do an upper 19 for you. So we did have a really fun run. We did get the dungeon done. I don't know what else to say other than what a time to be alive, I guess. What a time to be alive to witness somebody thought he was carrying the dungeon. Never DPS the ads on Curator or anything. But it's a bummer because I wasn't sure whether you could actually bring new people to dungeons like in M+. I mean, I don't screw around with it enough, I suppose. But you can't. If you're interested, you can't. If someone leaves, you can't bring a replacement. Which really sucks, because obviously that's the end of your run. It's just the end of your run entirely. So I'm really sorry, but the footage got corrupted. Our recording software unfortunately crashed about halfway through. And obviously I don't look up there. I'm actually going to be glancing up there at the moment, but it's for no other reason than I wasn't sure what was happening. Well, that'll be the end of that then. Which is really unfortunate because, again, it was a lot of fun, but that's life. What it's gonna be. That's life. Fuck me. You know, it's trying to make a nice video for the people. That's all. Now, what I'm hoping for here is we are in a bursting, skittish environment, but this is kind of like Upper Karazhan this week I consider to be a pretty free win. So although this is a 19, it's relatively high, I wouldn't expect us to run into too much trouble. I think we can probably be pretty chill in here, and I can be pretty relaxed about things. What I will say is, following on from the TDPs we did just before Christmas, where we got into quite a lot of discussion about the guys who find the game too easy, even though there's plenty of difficult content in the game, right? That situation, that whole shabazz.
2, 1.
The menagerie is for
Eradicate! Eradicate!
Let me blow up here. I'm trying to build up a fat, stinging cleave so it just melts this. Go, 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 go!
countermeasures deployed.
Is the game plan here.
Countermeasures deployed.
Oh, this group's damage is creamy, boys. This is some creamy DPS. All thanks to the good old Arcano Crystal, of course.
Overload.
In fact, I have nothing to give this guy. I have no... I'm just going to spam as much in as I can. Oh, that'll do. A Pyro Proc will do nicely. I was kind of hoping Combustion would have been back at such soon. That's going to fit in, maybe. No. Whoa. Let's stay close here. We're trying to get it all to bait onto one place. It's too close.
Countermeasures deployed.
I don't think everybody's burning the boss. I hope not. Potentially, though. Potentially. I'm going to stick to the ads, if that's alright.
Deterrent activated.
Although I'm pretty sure we're calling this a day. It's going to jump on me right at the end of here.
Overload.
There we go. Get out of here. Go home. Go home. So we were talking about this. The whole idea of this easier content. The harder content is there, but is it worth? That's the question. Is it worth? And a lot of people say no. And in fact, a lot of people have dropped out of Mythic raiding for the same reasons. Because of the Titan Forging system primarily. But here's the important thing we've got to remember here. There's not one simple answer. There's not this is the answer. Like, this is the reason, this is the answer. Everyone's got slightly different reasons. There's a whole spectrum of them. But what we certainly know is there's a problem somewhere. Hello, darkness, my old friend. There's a reason that some people kind of want this fixed. Because why heroic raid, right? Why heroic raid if... Why mythic raid and invest all the time, the effort, and love that it needs, and the pure coordination and the hundreds of wipes that it takes these days, like the real grandiose amounts of effort. Why bother? Me fire, preach, and repeat. Okay. Why bother? What's the point? If heroic, which I can do in an afternoon, Right? That's the point. Like, why bother with all that with heroic that I could do in an afternoon? He's actually giving me the same stuff, and it's not that much worse at its base level. It's hard to argue with a lot of these perspectives. It really is.
2, 1.
You're just like the others, aren't you?
Hold on while we do our job.
A basic spell, but effective. Burn, just like that dragon.
Now this boss can be a real bitch on Tyrannical, so I'm focusing a little bit here, guys, because if you've not done this fight, it fucking blows on Tyrannical. This one's not the worst one, the next one's the worst one, so I want to come out of this with Ice Block, ideally. And then we should be able to go back into combustion on the next one. Guaranteed flame wreath here, no questions asked.
I grow stronger. Burn, just like that dragon. Keep still. Let it end. Burn. Just
I hate Ceaseless Winter not below 30%. Take it below 30%. There we go.
burn. Just like that dragon. I suggest staying put.
Yeah, definitely not having Inferno and Flame Wreath. Please don't wipe us. Don't do it. I know someone's going to do it.
Burn. Just like that dragon.
Easy, boss. All right, thank God. When you see that Flame Wreath cast, what is it you think to yourself? This is the end of days. I feel like it's when you see the bomb, you know, in Terminator 2. Sarah Connor stood against that fence, and she stood there, and you think it's over. It's all over right here, right now. It's all over right here, right now. And I don't want it to be. Don't do it, Sarah Connor. So I'll be doing some orb soaking and some ice block. Ooh, actually. Orb block. As I said, I wanted to come out of this. We'll see. I might die here. This could be the end of Preacher as you know it. We could be in a bad situation. My plan is to kill it before it's a problem.
2, 1.
Good plan? I think you guys agree, right? Give me a proc. Boo. It's no good. Lame game. Let's see, baby. I think a lot of you are right in what we said, which is it just feels like... It feels like a lot of people are actually asking for easier content, for a better gear to come from easy content. But I ask you guys this question. I really do. What do you think would happen if... A lot of people want better gear, right? And they'll make arguments for it. And they'll fight for it. A lot. They will. They'll fight for it a great deal. But can you imagine if they actually got the best gear? Do you think they'd be happy? No. Not at all. In fact, most people leave games like this whenever they get that sweet piece of gear that they've been looking for. I can't get near the rune. Worth. That'll be fun. So brave. So brave. Alright, we appreciate his service, right guys? I've done some soaking on those, and mages will be with me here. Like, if you try and soak them above like 17, once you get to like 3, you're dead. Without ice block, you're just so fucked. Like, so quickly. It's unbelievable. But I was reading, we were talking today about how many people have been outed on the forums recently. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. I don't really want to post links for naming and shaming reasons, but you can check WoW forums and whatnot to see this. But there's a huge amount of players who have been kind of outed as just being absolutely full of shit. Like, they're just blatantly lying. And they're lying in different ways, which is really interesting. So, like, some... Uh-oh. Skittish. That's skittish for you, boys. No sacrifice. A little bit of sacrifice. A little bit of sacrifice. Who've been outed for bullshitting. In kind of a weird and interesting way. I think I'm going to cover it in a little bit more in depth, and you can wait for that one. But there was literally an argument. Let me give you an example here, guys. There's an argument on the forums right now, and you can find it yourselves on the WoW forums, the official one, where there's a guy moaning that he keeps getting kicked from dungeons because people are toxic, right? So, and he wants the vote kick feature removed because people are abusing it, blah, 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 right? Anyway. Anyway. He gets found that he's been in a raid because it's very easy to find out quite a lot about players now. If you know the character name, you can find out a huge deal because so many people are recording and logging and doing all that kind of cool stuff that we do to get better. It's not to try and troll people or anything. It's nothing like that. 92. 92 not enough, right? Do we need this? Do we need Bat Boy? No. So that's the scenario. Anyway, he gets found out on logs that he's completely full of shit. Like, this guy's a terrible player. Which is fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with people being, like, learning to do. But don't be terrible and then blame the game. So it also comes out, like, that one of these guys is incredibly toxic. Like, a guy actually, like, finds out. He's like, yeah, we kicked you because you were just an absolute moron. Like, you were just constantly complaining, bitching, moaning, and all that. And it was just insufferable. Like, your presence, not only were you terrible, like, did awful damage, died regularly, and so on, in some sort of normal mode Antorus Pug. But you were just fucking awful to play with, like such an arsehole. But then, obviously, the twisted version he gives is that Blizzard should stop people being able to vote kick. People are abusing. The community's too toxic to play with anymore was kind of the main crux of it. And then in a very similar thread, a paladin comes in. This is a very similar thread. It's not the same thread. It's a very similar thread. A paladin comes in. And the thread was about heroic curve, right? So a lot of you have probably run into this problem recently. And I am looking into it as a way to try and sort something out. And his complaint is... the guy's thread is obviously like, people keep asking for curve, I can't get curve, and the groups that don't have curve are shit. Which is kind of the case, right? Because the people who could get curve... I mean, this is the obvious thing. The people who could clear heroic relatively early on in the life cycle of Antorus... tend to be the better players for the vast majority. And then after that, they certainly don't want to learn the bosses and shit again. So anyway, a paladin enters the room. A handsome man enters the room. A paladin who has all the answers, actually, which is pretty amazing. He has the solution for us all. And he goes on about, well, basically the meme that was going around for quite some time. That heroic's actually super easy, and if you can't get curve, you're just a piece of shit. Oh, like, how do you even get out of bed in the morning if you can't get heroic Antorus curve, right? Basically that kind of attitude. Anyway, to the fun bit. His raids were logged too. As most raids are. His raids were logged too, right? And what we find out is this guy bought the run. Like, gets totally outed as somebody who bought the fucking run. And these logs of this, because he's only got one heroic kill as well, right? And it's only Argus. Oh, wow. Could I be further away, honestly? It's only Argus that he's got. And he dies in the first 5 seconds. So he's come in for Argus. Not only this, you might say, well, maybe he just came in on Argus on an ult or whatever, blah, 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 blah. There's a whole slew of reasons why it might not be the case. But no. Because the log that featured this momentous situation that also showed that the same team of people actually just killed heroic Argus a huge amount of times that night. Like, that's all they were doing, was running people through heroic Argus, which is pretty funny. Oh, fuck you, dude. Ugh, that's tricky. Alright, we're good, we're good. Oh my god, can I land this? No way, right? Oh, maybe. Yeah. Burn, motherfucker. Yeah, so this guy then bought his heroic Argus kill. And if you check the logs, and the guy who found the log was like, this is the log. You're full of shit, dude. You are absolutely full of shit. Shows that he was just part of a group that was just... Oh, Jesus. That was just killing Argus. Now, is there anything wrong with that? No, there isn't. There's nothing wrong. I mean, if you want to buy your run, that's fine, dude. Who fucking cares? I don't care. Most people don't care. The problem is when you then go and brag about how easy something is. That makes you like the biggest dick in the world, dude. Oh my god, that's funny. And then, of course, the thread says this. But this has happened, like, those are like two obvious examples, right? But I'm not lying when I tell you that this has happened quite a few times recently. Just over the last week or so. Sacrifice. A brave sacrifice indeed. This is happening widespread, so I'm going to look further into it and put something a little bit special out for you guys, see if I can get some info on it. Oh, wow. But there you go. There's a plus 19 dungeon that gives a 940 trinket. Is it worth in your guys' minds? What else did we get? Let's be realistic. 940 cloak.
Clear before.
940 wrists. No one in here needs these things, I don't think.
You have all the power you will ever need, Khadgar. It is your heart, your courage that makes you this world's guardian.
Good at the AP. Can I test it? Yeah. Sure. Have fun. Good luck. What should we call it? All right, we're going to... Well, for the giveaway then, for this wonderful thing for today, we'll use the hashtag... I can't use bullshitters. Hashtag fakers is what we're going to do. So I'll put a link to the tweet that I want you to send, because we have to include HyperX in it. So they know that we did a competition, right? So there'll be a link down below to what to tweet out. But there you go. Hashtag fakers. Stop bullshitting. Please stop bullshitting. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you all. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.